Hi guys, and welcome to the Wombat. For those of you that don't know, this is a McGregor 26. So the McGregor 26 is a trailer sailor. It isn't a very good sailing boat, and it's an even worse motorboat. However, this particular boat has been parked at home for the last 2 years and has not cost me a penny to store. Fortunately, I have a little bit of space to park it on, which is great. This video is not about the Wombat and the McGregor 26. It's all about the fact that the boat is from 2005, has had little or no TLC, and I felt it was time to try and spruce it up and restore the colour to the Wombat. Okay guys, having decided to spruce up the Wombat, having had no TLC for the last 3 or 4 years, I've always loved the Star Brite product, especially this non-skid deck cleaner with PTEF, which I find absolutely fabulous for taking any marks and discolorations from the deck and the work surfaces. But this is to be used later on the deck above, and today we're going to concentrate on the hull itself, so I shall put this to one side. So what we did, we initially pressure washed the hull and cleaned it properly with Star Brite hull cleaner, which didn't seem to make an awful lot of difference to the hull apart from cleaning it. At that point, I also looked at a colour restore for the blue, and as we all know, the blue is a terrible thing to work with. It fades, it oxidises, it goes all white and patchy and that sort of thing. So I decided to try a Star Brite product called Fiberglass Colour Restore, which, to be frank, is great. No, it's not great. It brings some colour back, but it is basically a cutting compound, and to cut out long-term oxidized GRP is not an easy thing to do. I spent a lot of time, I went all over this side twice with it, and 2 days later we were back to a white oxidized hull on the Wombat, as per what remains of what I've not redone. Having used this Star Brite product, and like I say, I do like the brand, after 2 days and going over this very thoroughly and rubbing this cutting compound into the fiberglass, within a day it's gone back to a faded blue state. So I decided I would look on Google and try and find a different product that might have better results. The Owatrol Colour Restorer, as it says on the tin, is for plastics, chrome, metal and GRP, which is what we're using it on the boat today. So it is applied very simply with a cloth. You basically put a little on the cloth and you just rub it in to the GRP. A little bit goes a long way on this, and you really don't want to put too much of this oil on, because the oil seeps in to the gel coat and gets rid of the oxidization and brings all the colour back to where it was. I can keep spreading this oil. Like I say, you mustn't put too much on, because the more you put on, the more you have to take off. So I've been doing this, and I've been working into about between a foot square and 18 inches square at a time, rubbing it in, making sure it's all evenly coated, and then as soon as it's on and coated, you then need to start taking it off. So we have a first cloth that I basically rub over. It's quite tacky when you start taking it off, so you literally spread it, take it off. It's still quite tacky, And then once that is done, you then have a super clean cloth, and you take off all the rest of the residue of the Owatrol oil until the whole area is smooth and shiny and no longer has any tackiness to it. If you leave it on too long and it starts to dry, you will soon get blemishes and a surface film, which is what you don't want to leave on the side of the boat. So it is as simple as that. One little area, you put it on, you take it off, and the colour is fantastic. Having restored the colour to what I feel is very nearly new condition, I am just protecting it with some Star Brite marine polish. And again, this is just as simple as it is doing the colour restore. We are literally just going to put some on a rag. We're going to spread an area around, literally about a foot square. Put it on, make sure it's evenly spread, and again, before it dries completely, you need to take the polish off. You'll struggle to see where the polish is because the restored colour has been so good. If you don't take the polish off more or less before it's dried, you will end up with streaks and uneven colour on your boat hull. And hopefully, with a couple of coats of marine polish, my McGregor 26 is going to look good for at least this season, and hopefully for seasons to come. Having got the hull of the boat looking shipshape, I need to move on to the top of the boat, because again we've got some oxidization on the black parts of the boat, and the top side are looking a bit dull. So we're going to use the Star Brite non-skid deck cleaner on this, and we're going to use it. We're going to scrub it in with I prefer to use a small hand brush rather than a long broom, because you can get into much smaller areas with this that you might miss with the broom. And this will bring all the black back to life, and all the dirt and grime from the top side. And following that, I then need to mask up, do the anti-foul, which we have ready to go, and then put the boat onto its new trailer and take it sailing.